Hey, what's going on, world? You know who it is. Zeus Cruz of Olympian Multimedia, giving you another segment of From Point A to B, where this time around we're kind of going to elaborate a little bit further on a past tutorial on video when we were discussing how to put together your home studio. Again, I've been asked again of, what does it take to set a home studio up? Is it complicated as far as do you need a whole bunch of equipment, a whole bunch of different hardware, software? Do you need multiple workstations in order to, create your musical project? Budgeting wise is always a big issue as far as like how much are you willing to spend on your craft. And this video is just going to kind of elaborate more so from the software standpoint that there's actually software out there and applications that you can use that are free and there's no fees involved in order for you to go ahead, and they work very closely to the bigger DAWs that you see out there, digital audio workstations, and you can still get the same effects compared to people who do use them. As far as your hardware concerned, I mean, it's good to use a little bit of variety. Each software, depending on the manufacturer, offer different features. So you might want to expand on that and allow yourself as a producer to go ahead and give you options. But you don't necessarily need a whole bunch of hardware, a whole bunch of different sequencers and MIDI controllers and so forth, keyboards. You could kind of just stick to what you're comfortable with and then kind of build off of that as you go, as you grow as a producer. But it's all up to you. It's all about how much you want to take in, how much knowledge you want to accumulate, do research, and just kind of, trying out different things, working out different types of hardware and software. It probably be in your best interest, especially starting out, to kind of just stick to one thing and get a really good knowledge of it and then kind of move on from there. But it's all dependent on you as a producer. But here we're going to show you real quick, briefly, again, different applications and softwares that you can get for free, and it allows you to go ahead and create music and construct your musical project. The first one we're going to look at is MPC Beats, and it's provided by Akai. The big thing about this software is that it works best if you use Akai products as far as their MIDI controllers. As you can see here, we have the Akai MPK Mini, and we have the newest piece of hardware that just came out, the Akai MPC Studio. You could try to use other vendors and their MIDI controllers, but you may not have the same results compared to just using an Akai based product. But as you can see here, it's pretty much very close to the Akai MPC Studio 2 software. As you notice here, you got your tuners, you have your levels where you can elevate the audio to your liking. You can set your notes and the scale of it. You have your mix pads that are according to the MIDI controller that you use. You have a timeline. You can record, and that includes vocals onto your timeline as well. And the quality of it, being that this is a free standalone program, all you got to do is just set an account through Akai on their website. I mean, it speaks for itself. The quality of it is pretty good. And as you can see, again, the quality is there. You know what I mean? It definitely comes with a very decent library of different sound packs, loops, synths, different vocal samples. Well, with the vocal samples, it's not as in depth, but they do offer some. But as you can see, the quality is there, and it allows you to do different things. And it also can be used as a plugin as well, which makes MPC Beats very unique. You can actually use this on other DAWs and it will be listed as a plugin. So definitely keep that in mind. So let's check out another one. We're going to go to PreSonus Studio One Prime, and this is their free version of their software, and it's pretty good. You know what I mean? The only bad or the drawback of this is it doesn't use third-party plugins, so you have to use what they have within their inventory. Other than that, it comes with a plethora of, again, different types of loops, different types of sound packs, different types of audio samples that you can use and manipulate onto your timeline. You can use pretty much any type of MIDI controller on there, which makes it very useful as well. This one's pretty cool because this is a lot of just click and drag. I'm gonna add another 808 to this, and as you can see, you just put it onto the timeline. You're gonna stretch it as much as you want, and then you can go ahead and continue to add on. And then by ways of your MIDI controllers, you can implement other different types of sounds, synths. Obviously, it has all the different tools similar to DAWs, where you can splice, merge different audio samples together to make a whole new one. So it's pretty unique for something that's free. It's pretty in depth, and you could definitely get some music production done. Next up is my personal favorite. It's called Cakewalk. I don't know if you're familiar with Cakewalk. Cakewalk actually came out in the early 2000s. It was actually my very first DAW that I used when I started getting into music and producing and putting together albums and so forth. This particular DAW is hosted by an application called BandLab. So all you have to do is go to BandLab and make an account through them. Again, everything's free. Then you go to their bonus feature tab, and on there it will have Cakewalk. You just click on it. You just follow the wizard that comes on, and there you have it. You have it right onto your computer. Fully functional DAW, very in depth, as much as like any of the big name ones like GarageBand, Ableton, Reason Plus, excuse me. Just as in depth as them. It has all the same features as you see over here. The beautiful thing about this is they do allow third-party plugins. They do have a nice listing of plugins themselves, but you can use third-party vendors as well, which is like pretty awesome. And the beautiful thing about this is this gets set up to a particular project that you're doing. So you can actually set this interface if you were just doing vocals, if you were just going to record vocals. You can set this for 4 or 16 track sets, interfaces. And you can also put it as empty, which allows you unlimited tracks if you're looking for a more extensive, in-depth project. As far as third-party plugins, let's talk about that briefly. The biggest one that I use personally, and you've probably seen a lot of advertisement on it, is called Arcade. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful resource to use as a producer. Has so many sound kits on there that you use, very in depth. There's no way you can't find something on here that you can utilize. You can actually mix and master it right on here on Arcade before you put it onto your DAW. In order to utilize it to the fully, you actually have to put this on as a plugin onto your DAW and actually record from there. That's why I say Cakewalk, being that it's free and it's a fully functioning DAW, that would be perfect for a producer. You're still able to use Arcade or any other type of plugin that you will desire. Another popular one is Splice, if you want to look into that. But here with Arcade, I definitely recommend that for any aspiring producer. And the beautiful thing about Arcade, very cheap. You know, they're only going to run you $10 a month for a subscription fee. They do have other things that they offer that you could buy. That's a little bit more pricier. And they do offer their own hardware as well that you can utilize with your DAW. But for the most part, $10, really a small sample to pay. You know what I mean? A small investment to pay to get a plethora of different audio samples that you can use, to create your musical project. So, and the last but not least, let me not forget this. I almost forgot. It's Loop Cloud. And again, this is subscription based. And again, only $8 a month to use Loop Cloud. As you can see here, gives you a big library of, again, different types of loops, different types of audio files that you can use and then input into your musical project. It works for any DAW, any other type of audio software that you might be using. They even have it set up down here where you can actually set the parameters on how you want the loop to play right on Loop Cloud. So it kind of saves you time once you take this over to whatever DAW that you're using to, again, go further with your musical project. So if you notice, I just showed you some software that you can use. And they were free. And then as far as using third-party plugins, which also includes VST instruments, I gave you one. Loop Cloud is only $8. Arcade is only $10. Again, small investment, and you're getting free DAWs out here, free software that you can use to go ahead and put your musical projects together. So again, don't really need a whole lot in order for you to go ahead and bring your musical ideas to life. So I appreciate you tuning in. Just wanted to give you some quick insight. Don't really need a whole lot. If you do have a big budget, go ahead and ball out. But it's not necessary if you still want to put out high quality content. So again, I'm Zeus Cruz of Olympian Multimedia. I appreciate you tuning in to another segment of From Point A to B. And go ahead. Get out there. Start producing.